Hello everyone. Today we are going to continue with the chapter Reproduction in Lower and Higher Animals. In the previous lecture we completed with fertilization, and in this lecture we are going to study embryonic development, pregnancy, placenta and parturition, lactation. Let's begin with today's lecture with embryonic development. Embryonic development, the zygote undergoes a series of mitotic cell division called cleavage. Now after fertilization, zygote is developed. Now this zygote undergoes a rapid process of mitotic division to form a spherical multicellular developmental stage called blastula. Immediately after fertilization, after repeated divisions, it forms a mass of cell called morula. Cleavage occurs during its passage through the fallopian tube to the uterus. In human beings, cleavage is holoblastic and equal. Cleavage divisions are rapid with short interphase. There is no time for cells to grow in size. Thus, cells become progressively smaller. The resulting daughter cells are called blastomere. Now, cleavage shows faster synthesis of DNA. Zona pellucida remains intact during cleavage, so the size of morula is equal to the fertilized ovum. So the fertilized ovum or the zygote undergoes repeated divisions. First cleavage is vertical and it takes place along the animal pole to vegetal pole. Hence, two blastomere. So first stage of cleavage produces two-celled stage. Second cleavage is also vertical but at right angle to the first one. It divides both blastomere resulting in four-celled stage. So the second cleavage will have four cell. First cleavage takes place about 30 hours after fertilization and second cleavage takes place within 60 hours after fertilization. The third cleavage is a horizontal or a latitudinal division and at right angle to the first two cleavage. So it will have 8-celled stage and it takes place about 72 hours after fertilization. So successive divisions produce a solid ball of cells called morula. Then blastula, then gastrula. Finally, gastrula is produced. Here you can see the first stage where fertilization takes place, the fusion of sperm and ovum. The second is the zygote, a fertilized ovum. The third, you can see the cleavage begins, the first stage of the cleavage, a two-celled stage. Second stage of the cleavage, a four-celled stage. Then morula, which consists of 16 cells. Then blastula, which has different layers produced with the nutritional layer forming trophoblast. Then gastrula, which is produced due to gastrulation after blastula. Here the process of cleavage and the formation of blastula is observed. How the mitotic division produces after the during the embryonic development in the fallopian tube. The zygote divides vertically, then right angle to the vertical division, formed four-celled stage, then forms the morula. Morula consists of 16 cells. There are two types of cell. There is an outer layer of smaller clearer cell and inner mass of larger cell. Then forms the blastocyst or the blastula, where the outer layer of cell of the morula absorb nutritive fluid secreted by the uterine endometrial membrane and is called trophoblast. and more fluid is absorbed by these cells, which become flat to form the cavity called blastocyst or blastocyst. Trophoblast cells are separated from inner mast cell except at one side. Here you can see the morula, which forms 16 cells. After successive divisions of the cell, a solid ball of cell called morula which means little mulberry. Morula consists of 16 cells. There is an outer layer of smaller cells and inner mass of larger cell. Then again cleavage begins to develop into a complete embryo. This is the next stage after morula, blastocyst or the blastula. Here you can see how the different layers are being differentiated by absorbing more and more nutrition and forming trophoblast cell and forming a cavity at the center known as blastocyst cavity or the blastocyst. And all the cells, they form a layer forming a cavity at the center. The trophoblast does not participate in the formation of embryo. It produces extra embryonic membrane and the zona pellucida becomes thinner and disappear. So the blastula increases in size and volume. So once the blastocyst stage is reached about 5 days after fertilization, it is ready and depends upon mother for nutrition. Here the blastocyst cells are arranged into trophoblast and inner cell mast. The trophoblast gets attached to the uterine endometrium and this process is called implantation. Now after the formation of blastocyst, by the 6th or 7th day of fertilization, the embryo gets attached deep inside the wall of uterus. This process is called implantation. This leads to pregnancy. The inner cell mass gets differentiated to form the embryo. Here the fallopian tube where the embryonic development takes place till 6th or 7th day of fertilization till it reaches the uterus. After it reaches the uterus, implantation takes place. This is one more representation of the embryonic development showing the different cleavage stages from day 1 to day 4 and after that at day 6 and 7 where the blastocyst is produced before implantation in the uterus. Implantation helps in deriving nourishment from the mother's body. It protects the embryo. The trophoblast cell of the animal pole have the power to stick to the uterine wall. The portion of the blastocyst where the embryonal knob is located lies against the endometrium. This contact stimulates rapid division of trophoblast cells. It forms two distinct layers, that is the inner layer called cyanotrophoblast. The cells retain their cell boundaries, and the outer layer of cell called syncytiotrophoblast, which lose their plasma membrane and appear multinucleate. It projects invasively into the endometrium and destroys the endometrial cell by releasing lytic enzymes. Blastocyst buries deeply into the endometrium. This is implantation of the embryo. Here you can see how implantation takes place after the formation of the blastula and obtains nourishment from the uterine wall. The trophoblast forms the finger-like projections called chorionic villi surrounded by the uterine tissue and maternal blood. The chorionic villi and the uterine tissue get integrated to form the placenta. The placenta is connected to the embryo by the umbilical cord. Now comes the gastrulation. Blastulation is followed by gastrulation, and the blastocyst continues with the development process even when implantation is taking place. Now formation of gastrula from blastula is known as gastrulation. Gastrulation is process during which primary germinal layers, namely ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, by morphogenetic movements are formed and rearrangement of the cells takes place. The ability of the inner cell mass is due to the presence of multipotent cells called the stem cell, so that they can differentiate into these three germinal layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. This is the vertical section of the gastrula stage, showing the three germinal layers: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Now gastrulation involves many changes, particularly in the formation of the endoderm and the formation of the embryonic disc, formation of the amniotic cavity, formation of the ectoderm, embryonic mesoderm and also the formation of extraembryonic xylem, chorion and amnion. There are different stages, different events taking place during the developmental stage of gastrulation, where in the formation of endoderm, some cells covering the free surface of the embryonic knob, they become flat and form endodermal cells. Then they rapidly spread out in all directions, forming the lining of the blastodermic vesicle, forming the endodermal lining. Similarly, formation of embryonic disc, where the blastocyst continues to grow in size, and after the formation of endoderm, the embryonic knob becomes columnar to form embryonic disc. Amniotic cavity, where the space between the amniotic disc and the trophoblast is called amniotic cavity, which is filled with amniotic fluid. And after the formation of the mesoderm, the remaining cells of the embryonic disc get arranged in a layer called ectoderm. Formation of the embryonic mesoderm at the hind end of the embryonic disc, the cells start proliferating at an increased rate, and addition of cells caused localized thickness of the embryonic disc. The proliferated cells later detach from embryonic cells and spread between trophoblast and endoderm to form a new layer which separates the yolk sac and the amniotic cavity from the trophoblast. Also the formation of the chorion and amnion. Chorion consists of trophoblast lined by parietal extraembryonic mesoderm. Amnion consists of amniogenic cells covered by visceral extraembryonic mesoderm. Placenta plays an important role in the pregnancy. Placenta is a temporary organ formed in the mammals only, and it is the only organ in animals formed of the tissue derived from two different individuals, the fetus and the mother. It serves to bring the fetal and maternal blood close enough to permit the exchange of material between the two. A fully formed human placenta is a disc shape, thickness of about 4 cm to 18 cm in diameter, and its fetal surface is smooth and has the umbilical cord attached near its center. Here you can see the placenta, which consists of chorion only. It's a chorionic placenta. A large number of branching villi form the vascular chorion, penetrate the corresponding pits or the crypts formed in the uterine wall. So later on it becomes very thick and highly vascular to receive the villi and connecting between the fetal membrane and the uterine wall. So it connects between the fetal membrane and the uterine wall so that nourishment is provided to the developing embryo. These are some functions of the placenta: supply of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide, transport nutrients to the embryo, excretion of waste produced by embryo, hormone production, hormone like human chorionic gonadotropins, human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone and relaxin hormones. Here you can see the exchange of fluids and nutrition takes place through the placenta between the mother and the developing embryo. Coming to the pregnancy. Now the condition of carrying one or more embryos in the uterus is called pregnancy. Now human pregnancy lasts for average 266 days from the fertilization of the egg or 280 days from the start of the last menstrual cycle. So human pregnancy can be divided into 3 trimesters of about 3 months. First 3 months, second 3 months, third 3 months. So total 9 months. So we call it as trimester. First trimester, second trimester and third trimester. Total 3 trimesters are there. So the first trimester is the time of most radical change for both the mother and the embryo. During its first 2 to 4 weeks of development, the embryo contains nutrients directly from the endometrium. So it is the main period of organogenesis and development of body organs. During the second trimester, the uterus grows enough for the pregnancy to become obvious. The fetus is very active, grows to about 30 centimeter long. Hormone levels stabilize. So in the first trimester, progesterone hormone are of high level. And in the second trimester, HCG hormone, human chorionic gonadotropin hormone declines. The corpus luteum deteriorates and the placenta completely takes over the production of progesterone, which maintains the pregnancy. So progesterone hormone will be high. And during the third trimester, the fetus grows to about 3 to 4 kg in weight and 50 cm in length. As the fetus grows, the uterus expands. The mother's abdominal organs become compressed and displaced, leading to frequent urination, digestive blockage and strain in the back muscles. This is showing the placenta during pregnancy. Different stages of the embryo during pregnancy, during the trimesters, how the length of the embryo, length of the baby or the fetus grows during the trimesters. Slowly the organs develop, then the length develops. During the first trimester, it is only 5 centimeter long. During the second trimester, it becomes about 30 centimeter long. And during the third trimester, it becomes around 50 centimeter in length. And the weight also increases around 3 to 4 kgs. Now coming to the parturition and lactation. Now human pregnancy has the duration of 9 months and this duration is called the gestation period. At the end of this period, vigorous uterine contractions lead to the delivery of the fetus. This process is called parturition. Parturition is started by the signals from the developed fetus and the placenta which produce fetal ejection reflex. This causes the release of oxytocin hormone from the pituitary gland which causes strong uterine contractions. This leads to the expulsion of the baby along with the placenta. So, parturition is the act of expelling the full-term baby from the mother's uterus at the end of pregnancy completed in about 280 days from the mother's last menstruation. So, parturition involves forceful muscular contractions called labor of the uterine wall. So the term is appropriate as it is a period of work at the expense of considerable energy. About 2 weeks before birth, the fetus normally settles head down downward into the pelvic cavity. On the completion of gestation, labor starts. It causes labor pains, and parturition may be divided into 3 stages. This is the before parturition. So the parturition may be divided into 3 stages. This is the first stage. First stage, also known as dilation. It lasts for about 12 hours. Regular peristaltic contraction of the uterine wall begin, passing from its top downward. These contractions move the fetus down towards the cervix, which expands fully. Amnion and chorion rupture. The amniotic fluid passes out, lubricating the vagina. The fetal placenta is pulled out from the uterine wall, making the baby free. Second stage, also known as expulsion, it lasts for about 20 minutes to 1 hour. The uterine contraction become more powerful and are accompanied by contraction of the abdominal wall. With these contractions, the baby is gradually pushed outward through the dilated cervix and vagina with the head foremost and is finally delivered or born into the outside world. The umbilical cord is ligaged at 2 places closed in the baby and cut between the ligatures. This frees the baby totally from the mother. Cervix and vagina are dilated and the ligaments of the pelvic girdle are relaxed by the hormone relaxin from the corpus luteum for easy birth of the baby. And this is the third stage, also known as placental stage. It lasts for about 10 to 45 minutes after the infant birth. Now the placenta, umbilical cord and the fetal membrane are expelled by series of uterine contractions. Now these structures are referred to as the afterbirth. Further contractions of the uterus close the cervix and prevent excessive bleeding. Sometimes the fetal fails to come out and a surgical procedure called caesarean section is needed. The baby is removed through a cut given in the mother's placenta. So this is known as parturition. Now coming to the lactation. Now during pregnancy the mammary glands undergo differentiation and milk is produced during the end of pregnancy. So the milk produced during the first few days of the lactation is known as colostrums. It contains several antibodies that aid the newborn to develop immunity. Thank you so much. We'll continue in the next lecture.